Hi to all of you of the sign of Libra. This is Zaida Velgara from Becoming I Am here with your reading for April 2026. Just for you newcomers, just let you know the rundown. I start off with some astrology. I pick 4 events of the month and I see how it's going to affect you using Oracle. And then I use tarot to give you the final message. I hope you enjoy. I only do about one of these a month because I do think that you need some time to get that started and going. So keep that in mind. The first thing we're going to be looking at is April 9th. Mars enters Aries. And that will be kind of like the warrior coming out and everybody seeing you for what you are. You know, that is the fierceness, the fight, the desire for you to do this, get this done, and take action with what you know that your dreams are, your desires are, and your real wants are. Okay. So, that being said, I needed you to have that presence as we go into. I decided the chakra deck because I want to see what energy center it's going to activate it and move in and how it's going to influence it. Oh, I like this. So we have the orange one that's talking about your sacral space, and this says perseverance. It looks like something really heavy is going to come off your shoulders. You've been wearing, I want to say, a lot of baggage that was not yours. It was affecting, I want to say, your sacral space. So that would mean that you would have problems with your kidneys, problems with your bladders, UTIs, problems with menstruation, functioning problems down there, that kind of stuff. And also issues with money, issue with creation. Like, let's say you want a project, you start it, and then it just doesn't get off the floor, that kind of stuff when you have a block there. And that's what's being released from you around this, the energy of April 9th, because it is like the butterfly coming out of the cocoon and finally getting the wings to be able to fly. So I am seeing movement, positive movement, especially in your material world and your creativity. It's possible that you let go of some kind of trauma or childhood wounding that limited you. Okay. Next thing that we have is the new moon in Aries. This is the 17th of April. So why do I think this is important? Well, we have 6 placements in Aries. We have the moon, the sun. We have Neptune, Saturn, Mars, and Mercury. So fierce talking, fierce action, discipline. Your subconscious mind is aligned to your conscious mind. You see things clearly in your conscious and your subconscious. So this is like a very active energy to move things forward. I would recommend for you guys to kind of use this energy to move into some kind of energy that you would like to manifest. Just keep in mind that there is a lot of fire. So whatever you're asking for, it's not like slowly coming into existence. It's like really harshly pushing whatever needs to be pushed so that you can make it happen. All right. I just have to mention this. For this reading, I have started this reading a million freaking times. I couldn't talk, everything came out wrong. And then right now, I just needed to stop the video because it had a glitch. Like it said I couldn't read my um, USB port and stuff. And I'm like, what? And so keep that in mind. I think there's been a lot of false starts in your life. Like you've started a lot of things a million times. It seems like every single time you started something, everything fell through. And I think it has a lot to do with whatever this sacral space attachment you had. And that is coming off of you. And that is the reason for the change. But I was telling you that whatever you do for that, moon energy, keep in mind is a lot of fire. So it's not like something that gives you a little ember and and you're able to move forward, right? Unscathed. I'm talking about whatever you're asking for. There's so much fire behind it that it's kind of move, bitch, get out the way kind of energy. So it will burn everything so that you can start with a new foundation. So I want to see what that's all about. So I'm using my woundology. The first thing we have is the fixed moon, and it says, hold your vision. And the second thing that came out is the full moon in Cancer. It says, a personal issue reaches resolution. Tell me if you have not just balanced out and removed something from your energy. It's some kind of childhood wound that was limiting your, it was like, you know, that saying failure to launch. I'm feeling that here. Like every single time you start something, it always was like, you got this, and then and then you got this opportunity. It sounded really good. Everything started moving, and then it's like you just kept failing. But I think it was something attached to you, like something attached to your sacral space. And attachments can manifest in many different ways. In this case, I think it was just a really deep-seated wound that created self-doubt or some kind of belief system that you had that actually limited you. So you were selling yourself short, in other words, right? So the next thing that we have is the April 20th. April 20th, the sun enters Taurus. This is good because when the sun enters Taurus, things calm the hell down. Okay, so it's kind of like you have all this fire, blah, 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 but you're actually channeling that fire in something that is anchored and grounded and practical instead of all this crazy, like, energy. Okay, so as I shuffle the deck, we got two things. One of them is homestead. Take care of yourself. Take yourself out on a date. So this is taking care of yourself. A little bit of me time will go a long way for you. And the second is universe. We're all made out of stardust. And this one, this card specifically reminds me of a movie. Now, I'm an 80s kid, so keep that in mind, of the Never Ending Story. So in the end of the first part of Never Ending Story, the entire world was destroyed. And the only thing left was a stardust. And you can see the girl put it in Bastian's hands, like the little boy's hands. And she's like, now it's time for you to start dreaming. And I'm feeling that here. Like something is being placed in your hand. Everything is going to go to shit. Everything is going to destroy itself. Everything's going to just wash off of you. Right. But now it's time for you to actually start dreaming. And like, because I think that wherever you were, whatever you were entangled with, bound to, anything that was holding on to you, from there you weren't going to create anything because it was broken and there was no life there left. One of the things that you have to realize from the Never Ending Story is the story of a kid having to deal with the loss of his mother, right? It's grief, and how, oh, this is giving me chills, and how empty you are after you lose that. And I feel like your whole life up to this point is one of those things where you were like empty inside. Something was missing. And finally, all this destruction that happened in your life, all the terrible things that you felt like something was working against you, was just destroying everything. So you had the possibility to start anew. Because from there you weren't going to create anything. Oh, this was hurting my temples. It's hurting my temples and my forehead. So this is very much like a third eye activation thing. The next thing we're going to look at, and it's the last one we're going to look at, is Uranus entering the sign of Gemini. This is big because it starts April 25th and it ends May 22nd, 2033. And we had like a somewhat prelude to it last summer. So I need you to like rewind to last summer and find out like what happened during that time that was good, was bad, and was in between, because you're going to get more of that. This is a lot of very chaotic, fast energy. Okay. So I want to see how it's going to affect you, Libra. Simplicity. Things are going to get simpler. It's going to be easier. And I'm hearing in the back of my head, about time. somebody somebody makes me laugh. You guys are hilarious. Okay. I thought two of them flipped, but only one did. And look at, we got number 33, and it's the card integration. So it feels like the reason why things are going to get easier is because finally The real you is what I keep hearing. The real you will be accepted in your world. I hope that makes sense. Up to now, you've had to change, mold, create a different persona for yourself so you can be accepted in this reality. But it feels like something comes off of you, and finally, you will be accepted for the real you in this reality. I don't know why they told me that. And then things become simpler, things become easier because you're accepted. I want to see what else comes out in this reading. This one feels, I mean, for some strange reason, it's a very good reading, but I feel it heavy. Like, not heavy like I want to cry or heavy that it weighs heavy on me, but more like a relief, but at the same time, fear as to, okay, sometimes we are so used to thriving, I am surviving. We're so used to fighting. We're so used to like just pushing at it that the energy of thriving and the energy of being safe feels scary. That's what this feels like. All right, let's see what else wants to come through here. We have the King of Wands, and that follows the Three of Swords that flew over here. And the Queen of Coins. That looks like a couple. And the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. I'm seeing here a masculine figure. You guys have to take it as it resonates, okay? So I've seen here somebody in their masculine energy, and it feels masculine male energy that is the one that wants things done the way they believe everything should be done because they know better. And I see a female energy that is the one that makes the money. Okay? And I've seen a heartbreak between both of them. And I'm seeing the Eight of Pentacles that is talking about work. I'm going to pull more cards before I go forward on reading the message, but I'm getting some kind of interpretation, but I don't want to really like have you guys settle into it yet. So that's why I'm not going to say it, but just that, keep that in mind. Wow, look, these all came upside down. Then we have the feeling of being trapped. And somebody, another male figure being introduced into the mix that is using emotional manipulation. But we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. And this can be, they won't get what they You know what, Libra? Just let's put this out here. There is all kinds of fucked up shit for your reading. So now my microphone said I cannot read it and the battery wore out. So there's miscommunication here. Because remember how I told you that in the beginning I couldn't talk and I kept messing up the introduction, messing up the introduction, messing up the introduction. And then the communication of my cables to my computer unplugged and it said it couldn't read the USB, but all the USBs were where it's supposed to be. And now the microphone went off. There is some kind of wonky communication here that is going to cause a lot of drama. So I was talking about these three, and I don't know. This is starting to feel a little weird. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles and we have the Six of Cups in reverse. First of all, the amount of pentacles here is big. And we have the Ace of Swords. Why do we have the Ace of Swords? The World card, the Hierophant. In the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords. And I had seen this in the beginning, and I was wondering if this was going to happen. I feel like somebody's going to be caught up in their mind. We have a couple here. They have terrible communication skills between each other. Terrible. The way the man works is, and I'm saying man because it's a masculine energy, is you do what I say because I know better. But the female is the one that has the resources. She's the one that has the money. She has the resources. She can get this done. And there is a lot of hurt feelings between them and a lot of destruction. And then at work, while this person is working, and I feel like it's a female energy, while they're working, I'm feeling this energy of feeling trapped. Like they can't do anything that they want with their money and they feel trapped. And here comes a wolf in sheep's clothing, talking nice, blah, 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 but it's because they know they can manipulate this female. And then we have this energy of the Six of Cups in reverse. I don't think this person's going to get what they want out of the situation. But we have the investment of the Seven of Pentacles. But there's still frustration of the amount of work that this person would have to do to make this relationship work. And what I'm seeing is that they're starting to notice how they don't want to repeat old cycles and they might cut off the situation. The reason why I'm saying that is because we have the World card, which is a cycle, and we have the Hierophant, which is usually like a marriage, a commitment, an organization kind of thing. And we have the Eight of Swords. I feel like somebody is ready to end a cycle, like a commitment. Like it can be a marriage, it can be a partnership with an organization or whatever. They're done with it. And it's because I honestly feel like the problem is, and I'm going to put this here, it can be the King of Wands. Let's see. What about the King of Wands? See, Justice in reverse. They have the energy of an unbalanced Libra energy. Okay. And we have the Lovers in reverse too. I didn't notice it fell on the table. What's going to cause the breakup is the imbalance of the masculine energy. See, it's going to cause Eight of Cups of the walking away. I want to see about the female energy. We have the Strength card. Wow. The High Priestess and the Six of Swords. Look, you're going to have strong will because your discernment is already telling you what you're supposed to do. I'm talking to the female, whoever that is, the Queen of Pentacles, and it's telling you to move away. In the bottom of the deck, this is Chiron's energy, and that is the Wounded Warrior. I think that if this couple stays together, I'm going to say you guys because I'm talking to whoever ends up being, if they stay together, these individuals, it's not because they want to, it's because they both came from broken backgrounds, like broken relationships, negative situations, and whatever. And what they're seeing is like not wanting to have to go through to the beginning again, like not being alone, not going through all the drama, trying to find a partner, etc., etc. This legit for me. Oh, look, I left the Queen out. This legit for me feels like, when something's not working, but if you think that if you keep putting more money into it, more effort into it, more whatever, it's gonna work. It won't. These are two incompatible people because one person thinks they're right all the time and the other one is looking for so much security that they don't listen to their intuition. And so I don't know who this couple is. I don't even know if they're necessarily you, Libra. It might be people around you. All right. But there's a hot no here because Oh, it does not feel right. It's the only thing I can say, because like um because they're incompatible. And if they're staying together, it's mostly because they're afraid to be alone. So you take that as it resonates. Like I said, there's a lack of communication here. There's cut communication, there's distorted communication. People aren't saying the right words, fumbling words, all kinds of stuff, because I had so much difficulty starting this reading. And throughout the reading, I kept having glitch after glitch after glitch after glitch. Mm, this doesn't feel right. And so, and you're the only reading I've had so much drama with. So keep that in mind. I hope this helps.